Welcome back to our 6-part series, I Don't Need No Stinking Realtor, a guide for buyers navigating the real estate market without an agent. In today's episode, we're covering the ins and outs of showings, a seriously crucial step in finding your dream home. So you've found a few properties you're interested in. Now what? Let's start with scheduling appointments. When you're not working with an agent, scheduling showings is completely in your hands. So if you're not proactive, you're not going to get to see any houses. It's completely up to you to track down the contact information for and reach out to the listing agent or seller directly. Many properties have specific showing instructions that you may not have access to without an agent, so be prepared to work with the listing agent's process. It's important to note that in many cases, if the seller has signed a listing contract with an agent, all showings will need to go through their agent and you will likely be redirected. Understand the seller's not brushing you off. They're following the contract they signed, and this is literally the reason they hired an agent, so that they don't have to deal with fielding random phone calls and questions and trying to coordinate showings. If it's a for sale by owner and no agent is involved, then obviously you'll deal with the seller directly. Otherwise, it's best to seek out the listing agent's contact info and reach out to them directly to schedule a showing. Now, being flexible with your schedule is key, especially in busy markets. Remember, sellers often have very busy schedules too, and in many cases in our local Rhode Island market, showings are held in a small window so that offers can be collected and responded to in a timely manner. Try to accommodate the availability you're given as much as possible if you really want to get in to see a property. Keep in mind that in today's competitive market, being prompt and flexible can make all the difference in the number of properties you actually get in to see. Now, since the pandemic, it's become customary in many cases for a listing agent to request a buyer's pre-approval letter before scheduling a showing. If you're asked to provide proof of your financing before the agent will schedule a showing for you, don't take offense. The agent is simply protecting theirs and their seller's time in confirming they're only showing the property to parties that can actually buy it. And this goes for agents as well as consumers. Additionally, with the changes happening in the industry, you may be required to sign a document confirming that you've chosen to not have your own representation prior to the agent scheduling you a showing. This is becoming a requirement in many and in the future potentially all areas, so don't be alarmed. When you schedule a showing, it's imperative you be on time. A busy agent may have multiple appointments with allotted time frames throughout the day for different properties and be working on a tight schedule. Being 15 minutes late may mean rescheduling your appointment or not getting in to see the house at all. If something comes up and you are running behind, just be sure to communicate that to the person you're meeting, or they may assume you're not showing up at all and not wait for you. Communication is key here and shows you respect their time and your own. Now, when you arrive for a showing, it's important to show respect for the property and its occupants. Your initial showing is just that, a showing. This is your opportunity to visually inspect the property. Opening closets and cabinet doors is customary. Opening bureau drawers and touching personal items is not. If you make and have an offer accepted, that will be the time for a deeper dive during inspection, like examining the roof and attic spaces, etc. So if you show up to your showing with a ladder expecting to walk the roof and get into the attic, you're likely going to be sorely disappointed. A note, even if you're not interested in the property, maintaining professionalism and common courtesy is highly recommended. You never know who you might need to request a showing on another property through. Now, in today's fast-paced market, flexibility is essential. Properties can sell quickly, and you may only have one chance to see a home before it's off the market. Keep your schedule as flexible as possible to accommodate last-minute showing opportunities. If you find a property you love, be prepared to act quickly. In competitive markets, hesitation can cost you the opportunity to make an offer. When attending a showing, keep in mind that if you want someone else to see the property, like a spouse or family member, they really need to be there with you. Sellers and listing agents may not accommodate separate viewings for additional parties due to time constraints and even the competitive nature of the local market. Additionally, without an agent, video tours sometimes may not be an option. Listing agents may many times prioritize in-person showings over video tours, so it's essential to attend scheduled appointments to view the property in person if at all possible. This is also your time to ask any clarifying questions you may have. The showing is your chance to gather as much information as possible to make an informed decision. This is also the appropriate time to ask the listing agent how they're handling offers, if they've received any at that time, and if any deadline has been set for offers to be submitted. These questions allow you to plan accordingly if you do decide you're interested enough to submit an offer. Keep in mind that audio-visual alarm systems are super common these days. An agent is supposed to disclose to you if any of this type of equipment is in use during your showing, and if it is, you need to remember that you may be being watched or listened to as you view the home, which could potentially impact the consideration of your offer depending on what they hear and see. Showings are your opportunity to get a feel for a property and determine if it's the right fit for you. By scheduling appointments promptly, practicing proper etiquette, staying flexible, and making the most of your time during showings, you'll be well on your way to finding your perfect home. Next up is episode 6, where we'll cover red flags to look for during your showings. Stay tuned for more helpful insights for buyers house hunting without the help of an agent. See you soon.